Hey guys, it's your boy Easy and welcome to Easy's Garage. So I'm gonna be away riding for the next 6 to 7 weeks, and I was hoping to do a wheel bearing change, a steering stem bearing change, as well as a fork rebuild before I left, before my trip. Unfortunately, the parts and the bearings that I ordered still haven't arrived, so those videos are gonna have to wait for another 6 to 8 weeks or so. But I'll definitely get those out once I'm back. But in the meantime, I thought I'll drop another maintenance video before I left. But this time it's not going to be a maintenance video of the bike, but it's going to be a tool that you frequently use or should use, the torque wrench. So if you're anything like me who loves using torque wrenches, it's important to calibrate them to ensure they're accurate. And this calibration should be done ideally every year to every 2 years. If you're an amateur mechanic like me, probably uses a torque wrench at most 25-30 times a year. I think every 2 years should be enough, but if you use your torque wrench a lot more, probably every year is a good interval to calibrate your torque wrench. So torque wrenches have an internal spring and some mechanical parts. So with use, you could cause fatigue to the spring or wear to the mechanical parts. So it's important to calibrate them to ensure accuracy within a certain threshold. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. Gather your torque wrenches that you want to calibrate. I've got three: the 1/2 inch, the 3/8 inch, and the 1/4 inch. Obviously the 3/8 inch is the one that I commonly use and you likely will commonly use on your motorcycle, followed by the 1/4 inch. The 1/2 inch very rarely. So if you're just getting started in motorcycle maintenance and you're just looking to buy your first torque wrench, I would say go ahead and buy the 3/8 first. That's the one that you'll use most. The other two, not so much. Especially the 1/2 inch, you'll very rarely use that. Gather your torque wrenches. I'm going to show you how to calibrate the 3/8 torque wrench, and it's the exact same process for the other two as well, so I'm not going to show you that. You're going to need a measuring tape, and the way I'm going to calibrate it is using a luggage scale. So this is just a weighing scale. You can use an object of known weight. So for example, say you have a 20 kilogram dumbbell or a 30-pound dumbbell, you can use that. You don't need a weighing scale for that method, but the method I'm going to show you doesn't need a weight, doesn't need an object. You just need a weighing scale. And you're going to need a hex bit or whatever bit that you'll need for the adjuster screw in your torque wrench. So the Tecton torque wrenches have an adjustment screw right here. I'll show you that later. And you're going to need an appropriate size hex bit or socket for your front or rear wheel axle, because that's where we're going to attach the torque wrench to that to calibrate it. So here I've got my 3/8 torque wrench, the one I'm going to be calibrating in this video. It's held in place in the wheel axle of my bike, but if you had a table vise, you wouldn't need to use your bike. You could just use the vise to grab a hold of your torque wrench's drive head, and that would hold the torque wrench in place. You could just as well use your rear wheel axle or rear wheel. Basically, you need to find any fastener that's already torqued up pretty tight, so there's no fear of over torquing that fastener when you're calibrating your torque wrench. What is torque? So torque is a measure of the rotational force that you apply on an object, usually fasteners and bolts. And in this case, it's my wheel axle. And in mathematical terms, torque is a product of a linear force that you apply at a point, say for example this point, multiplied by the distance between that point and the pivot point. And the pivot point is usually the object that you're applying the rotational force to, the torque to. One thing to note is the linear force that you apply has to be perpendicular to the distance between that point and the pivot point. So in this case, the force has to be this direction from up to down, or this direction from down to up. So for example, if I were to apply a force of 40 pounds at this point, and this point is exactly 1 foot from the pivot point to the center of this, I would be applying a torque of 40 foot-pounds, because 40 pounds of force multiplied by 1 foot of distance, that would be 40 foot-pounds. And Just to give another example in metrics, if I were to apply a force of 100 newtons at this point, and this distance happens to be 30 centimeters exactly, 30 centimeters is 0.3 meters, I would be applying a torque of 30 newton meters, because that's 100 newtons multiplied by 0.3 meters, that is 30 newton meters. Now, torque depends on distance and also depends on the force. So it makes sense that if I apply the same force at a different distance, I'd get different torque. So for example, if I applied the same 40 pounds of force, instead of here, if I applied it half the distance, I would get half the torque. So instead of getting 40 foot-pounds of torque, I would get only 20 foot-pounds of torque. And same thing if I move further away, if I had a longer wrench and I applied the same 40 pounds of force 2 feet away from the pivot point instead of 1 foot, so I would get 80 foot-pounds of torque. And that makes sense, right? Because you would have encountered this when trying to loosen a bolt that's too tight. You would just get a longer wrench, and for the same force that you were applying before, you would be able to easily loosen that bolt or tighten that bolt. And that's because for the same force that you're applying, since it's a longer wrench, you're applying it at a greater distance, you're actually applying more torque. So the first thing to do is pick a point on your torque wrench's grip. I'm going to pick this line right here, because that's usually where my hand is when I'm using my torque wrench. That's usually where I'm applying the force. And then measure the distance between that point to the pivot point. It has to be exactly the center of the drive edge. So don't get it from this edge and don't get it from this edge. Get it right from the center right here. And in my case, it is exactly 11.5 inches. We have to convert that 11.5 inches into feet. And to do that, we just divide by 12, because there's 12 inches to a feet. So that's 0.95833333 repeating, so just under 1 foot. So if I'm applying 40 pounds of force, I should get 38.3333 foot-pounds of torque, or 38 1/3 foot-pounds of torque. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and set my torque wrench at exactly or roughly 38.33. Just take my word for it, even though you can't see it here. And so what I'm now going to do is I'm going to use my luggage scale to apply 40 pounds of force at this 11.5 inch distance. And ideally, this torque wrench should just click when I'm applying 40 pounds of force. If it doesn't click even after applying 40 pounds of force, or it clicks way before 40 pounds of force, say at 36 or 37 pounds of force, then I know my torque wrench needs calibration. The reason I picked those particular numbers, the reason I picked 40 pounds of force, which at 11.5 inches, which translates to 38 1/3 foot-pounds of torque, is because this particular torque wrench, the range is between 10 foot-pounds and 80 foot-pounds. So ideally, you want to choose a number that's roughly in the middle, so roughly around the 40 foot-pound mark. That's where you calibrate it. If your torque wrench is a metric torque wrench, and you want to calibrate that, it's very similar. You would measure the distance between a point on the grip to the pivot point again, but this time in centimeters. So this particular point is 29 and a bit centimeters. What I would do instead is pick an even number, so pick 30 centimeters, so that the 30 centimeter would be somewhere slightly here, and then mark that with a piece of tape. So that's my known distance. 30 centimeters is what I'm going to be using. And that 30 centimeters, the unit has to be in meters, so convert that, so that's 0.3 meters. And then now say I'm applying 15 kilograms. Now kilograms is not a unit of force, it's a unit of mass. But my luggage scale doesn't have newtons, right? Which is the unit of force. It only has mass, kilograms. So how do I convert that 15 kilogram into newtons, which is the unit of force? Again, remember, going back to physics 101, force equals to mass times acceleration. Acceleration is the acceleration due to gravity, which is 9.81. Mass is 15 kilograms, acceleration is 9.81. So my force that I'm applying is 147.15 newtons. Multiplied by the distance, which is 0.3 meters, that'll give me 44.15 Newton meters. So I would set my torque wrench to 44.15 Newton meters, and then I would apply 15 kilograms using my luggage scale at 30 centimeters away from the pivot point. And then I would see where my torque wrench clicks. It should click just as you're applying 15 kilogram mass, not any sooner and not any later. So I've got my torque wrench ready to be tested. I've set it to 38.33 foot-pounds on here. I've hooked it up to my luggage scale, and I've also negated the weight of the torque wrench. So the weight of the torque wrench is actually going to pull the torque wrench down, whereas I'm going to be pulling it up using the luggage scale. So I went ahead and reset my luggage scale to show 000 while it's holding up the weight of the torque wrench. So that shouldn't be a factor. Okay, now I'm going to pull on this. I expect the torque wrench to click right when it shows 40 pounds. Because 40 pounds at 11.5 inches should equal 38.33 foot-pounds. Okay, so it clicked just about at 39 pounds. Let me try again. So it pulled at 38 and some change this time, 38.3 pounds. Let me try one last time. Okay, so about 38. So it's clicking a little too soon. I need for it to click a little later. Okay, so we need to calibrate this torque wrench. It's not off by too much, just a little. So on the Tecton torque wrenches and most torque wrenches, there should be an adjustment screw here. It's covered by this rubber grommet thingy. So take out the rubber grommet. Inside there'll be a little screw, and in my case it's 3 hex bit that will turn the screw. Since my torque wrench is clicking a little too soon, that means the spring inside is not tight enough. I'm going to tighten the spring, and to do that, if it's clicking a little too soon, I'm going to turn it anti-clockwise, and I'm going to do it in small turns. So I'm going to do a quarter turn at a time. So let me turn it a quarter turn, and then I'll test it again. Okay, quarter turn. Let's try again now. 39 point something. Let's try one more time to get an average. 39.3. Okay, so pretty close. I'm going to turn this adjustment screw an eighth of a turn counterclockwise, because it's still not as tight as I want it to be. It's still clicking before 40 pounds. So instead of doing a quarter turn, I'm going to do 1/8 of a turn, and I'm going to try again. Perfect, 40.09. Let's try one more time. Perfect, 39.98. So as close as I could get it to 40 pounds. So my torque wrench is set to 38.33 foot-pounds, and at 11.5 inch distance, the torque wrench should just about click when I apply 40 pounds of force. And that's what I got after calibrating it. If your torque wrench wasn't clicking even after applying 40 pounds, and it was clicking at say 41 or 42, that means your spring is too tight. It needs to click sooner. So turn your adjustment screw clockwise a quarter turn at a time until you get your spring loose enough where it clicks at 40 instead of 41 or 42. And remember, to preserve the longevity of your torque wrench, always store your torque wrench at the lowest possible torque setting. So in this case, it's 10 foot-pounds. That will make sure that the spring inside is not in the compressed state and won't experience spring fatigue too quickly. And that's how you calibrate your torque wrench. So don't forget to do this every couple of years or so, and make sure your tools in addition to your bike are well maintained. Alright guys, it's your boy Easy. Hit the like and subscribe button. Until next time, take care.